vast landscape of the gaming industry, where AAAs tend to steal the spotlight, there exists a rare gem. Today I bring you the world of Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium takes place in the seaside district of a fictional city named Revachol, which is still recovering from a siege that took place decades prior to the game's start. Players take the role of an amnesiac detective who has been tasked with solving a murder mystery. During the investigation, he comes to recall events about his own past, as well as current forces trying to affect the city. Disco Elysium is a non-traditional role-playing game with very little combat. Instead, there are events resolved through skill checks and dialogue trees via a system of 24 skills that represents different aspects of the protagonist, such as perception or pain threshold. My initial encounter with this game was really something. I was recommended this game by my partner, and I knew it would be good, but I didn't know it would become my favourite game. And as I immersed myself in the streets of Revachol, I found myself in this really interesting city that's teetering on the precipice of decay, and it's riddled with political unrest, and I found myself captivated. Disco Elysium's art, music, and writing really cast a spell on me, drawing me deeper into this narrative web. Revachol, a city married by years of turmoil, evoked a really melancholic sense of beauty deep within me. At the very core of Disco Elysium's allure lies its cast of characters, each a symphony of contradictions and complexities. From our amnesiac protagonist Harry Dubois to Kim Kitsuragi, his stoic partner, every interaction with these characters is akin to peeling back layers of an intricately crafted narrative. It's a testament to the game's unwavering dedication to character-driven storytelling. Hell, I love this guy so much that I framed a picture of him on my wall, and I might have drawn him 3 times. Harry Dubois is an embodiment of the human psyche's darkest corners and its unexplored potential for redemption. He grapples with old demons like his addictions and is wrapped in a struggle to piece together the puzzle of his fractured memory. His partnership with Kim Kitsuragi, a character of remarkable stoicism and unwavering integrity, creates a dynamic that is not only engaging but also provides a counter to that turbulence on Harry's end. Each character is a fully realised individual with their own motivations and struggles. Interacting with them isn't just a means to progress the plot, it's an opportunity to explore the intricacies of their personalities and engage in thought-provoking conversations. This depth of character development adds layers of emotional investment to the game, making the player's choices just so much more impactful. Revachol, in all of its sad glory, emerges as a character in its own right within the narrative tapestry of Disco Elysium. It's a city poised on the precipice of social and political upheaval, a place where remnants of a bygone era mingle with the promises of a turbulent future. The backdrop of Revachol is a canvas richly painted with layers of history, lore, and subtle commentary on the human condition. It is a setting that not only serves as a stage for the unfolding drama, but also breathes life into the narrative. The city's decaying beauty is a haunting reflection of societal decay, mirroring the struggles of its inhabitants. Each street corner, each dilapidated building, and the melancholic echoes of the past are woven into the fabric of this game. As you wander through Revachol, you can feel the weight of its history, the whisper of its secrets, and the pulse of its heart. The city itself is a character and can even speak to you through a skill called Shadders. Shadders is one of the many skills you can develop in Disco Elysium. Unlike the other skills that represents your character's proficiency in a certain field, Shadders is unique. It embodies your ability to perceive and interpret the subtle, ambient, and often eerie elements of the world around you. It personifies the city. From this point onwards, this video goes into minor spoiler territory. So, there is a moment where the city speaks and she says this.
Death. It is terrifying. I need you to protect me from death. I cannot perish. Look at me. I cannot end. In 22 years, the first shot will be fired. Not a shot from a gun. An atomic device that will level all of me. All of me.
There's something beautiful about this plea. It is the representation of the volition the city has to rebuild itself. It doesn't want to end. And while the city is sad, what's sadder is the possibility of annihilation. The city, she knows you. She is felt in your nostrils and on the little hairs on the back of your neck. Disco Elysium masterfully embraces the art of emergent storytelling. Conversations in the game aren't static exchanges, but are dynamic, evolving dialogues which are influenced by your skills and your choices. There is no prescribed path to follow, no linear narrative to adhere to. Instead, it's a living, breathing world that reacts to your every decision, rendering each playthrough a unique and personal experience. The magic of emergent storytelling lies in the ripple effect it creates. Choices made early in the game can have far-reaching consequences, subtly altering the trajectory of the narrative. This fluidity and adaptability transforms Disco Elysium into a world where your decisions genuinely matter, where the story is not merely a script to be followed, but a dynamic exploration of cause and effect. It invites you to become an active participant and shaping the story in ways that are profoundly personal. Beneath the layers of mystery, Disco Elysium delves into themes that are raw and unexpected, plumbing the depths of human experience in ways that are both profound and confronting. It explores addiction, identity, political ideology, and existentialism in a depth that is a rarity in the gaming world. The game doesn't shy away from the uncomfortable and the complex. It delves into the murky waters of addiction where choices have consequences and coping mechanisms can blur the line between self-destruction and survival. Identity, too, is explored in a nuanced manner as players navigate the fragmented psyche of Harry Dubois, grappling with questions of selfhood and the choices that define us. The game's central theme revolves around confronting one's past. The protagonist's journey is not just about solving a murder case, but also about facing his declining mental state. This introspection becomes a reflection of our own lives. And Harry's journey is a deeply personal one, and his struggle to come to terms with his past is a very important theme in the game. And as we guide him through his process, we're compelled to examine our own experiences of regret, self-doubt, and the ever-lingering weight of past decisions. It's a narrative choice that elevates the game beyond traditional storytelling and into the realm of introspective art. The game opens with an excerpt of Reflections by R.S. Thomas, a poem published in a 1995 collection called No Truce with the Furies. The Furies are at home in the mirror. It is their address. Even the clearest water, if deep enough, can drown. Never think to surprise them. Your face, approaching ever so friendly, is the white flag they ignore. There is no truce with the Furies. A mirror's temperature is always at 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray. It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion, where gaspingly you partake of a shifting identity, never your own. This poem reflects Harry's struggle with himself, that idea that there is no ends to inner struggle, and more specifically, the conflict between who you want to be and who you are coldly perceived as by the mirror, which you seek to reflect who you see as the true you when you stand in front of it. And this is the way I think about this poem. We are complex, we are filled with love, loss, hatred, heartbreak, but the mirror image is not alive, and yet we use it to proclaim, "This is what I am." But The mirror's temperature is always at 0. It is cold and it is uncaring. All of this is a refreshing exploration of themes that challenges our preconceptions and opens a mirror to our own complexities. The game's art style, a blend of painterly visuals and isometric perspective, creates a unique and memorable world. And the music, with its hauntingly beautiful tracks, adds a swell of emotions to every scene. The painterly art style gives the game a dreamlike quality, inviting players to linger and absorb in the details of Revachol's decaying beauty. The first scene in the game that really impacted me with its combination of visuals and soundtrack was the dream sequence of day 1. That moment when you walk out of the Whirling in Rags and past those dark clouds to the courtyard, seeing that man's hanging body, seeing Harry imagining himself in the place of the murder victim as the lights of the disco ball fade around you. The music, composed by British Sea Power, complements the visuals perfectly. Its melancholic and ambient tracks set the tone for introspection and contemplation, underscoring the game's themes of regrets and redemption. Even the first sound that you hear when you step out of the Whirling in Rags, those hauntingly melancholy horns, it really generates such a strong atmosphere that I've just not found elsewhere. To me, Disco Elysium stands as a testament of the medium's untapped potential. It's a masterpiece of storytelling that invites players to explore the complexity of human nature while navigating a city clinging to a bygone era. Disco Elysium's impact on me goes beyond the screen. It is a game that challenges what games can be. It's a reminder that beneath all the flashy spectacles of good graphics, there is room for stories that resonate on a deeper level. And I'm so glad I played this game.